Welcome to the 2020 PDC Awards. Yes, I'm delighted to say, as ever, Dan Dawson joins me. Now, Dan, we know it was a very tough 2020 for everyone, but it's fair to say the PDC really did lead the way with the tournaments. We carried on, and we've got some fantastic awards to give out.
Yeah, absolutely. It all started as normal, of course, at 2020, and then everything kind of changed, but it didn't stop. All of the tournaments progressing as planned. We saw some world-class stuff, and we've seen the landscape of professional darts change slightly. It's not been dominated by Michael van Gerwen. We've seen the emergence of new talents. We've seen dominance in some spells from the likes of Gerwyn Price. Peter Wright, of course, who started the year as world champion. It's been an incredible year for darts fans.
We've missed the crowd. We all agree on that. But the standard remains, and if not, it's got better, and in some tournaments I was blown away by some performances.
Yeah, I think you could pick out any number of individual displays, but what really excites me, yes, I love seeing the top boys battling it out, particularly for that world #1 spot. That fight's been going on all year, but I love seeing the emergence of new talents. I love seeing people like Dirk van Dijvenbode go and make first major final, Devin Peterson winning his first title, the first South African player so to do, and loads of other players. You can pick them out, the young players breaking through. We've got some fantastic players nominated for the Young Player of the Year award, as we always do. Look, it's an exciting time to be involved in professional darts.
Thanks, Dan. Now it's time for our Pro Tour Player of the Year, announced by a very special guest, Barry Hearn.
Well done to the PDC staff and players. You've done a great job this year. Our sport has continued to thrive. Well done. And I'm delighted to present an award for the Pro Tour Player of the Year. And the winner is Gerwyn Price. Well done, Gerwyn. Much deserved. You've had a great year. And we'll see you for an exciting 2021.
So congratulations to Gerwyn Price, the PDC Pro Tour Player of the Year. Now, Gerwyn, does that award in the Pro Tour, does that seem quite a while ago now, after winning the big one, which is right behind you?
Yeah, it was obviously it was quite a while ago. I think three months ago was it since we played in a Pro Tour, maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, they're the ones I'm looking forward to get back into. And that's the ones you find out what sort of form you're in. So yeah, looking for getting back into it as well.
Gezi, that's your bread and butter, the Pro Tour. What's it going to be like stepping back into Wigan or Barnsley or wherever as the world champion, as the world #1? You're now the man to beat in world darts.
To be honest with you, I at the moment anyway, I don't feel under too much pressure. Even when I won the Grand Slam, won it back to back, I still had a target on my back then, I think. And even though it's a little bit of a bigger target now, it's just in my own head. I don't try not to put too much pressure on myself. But until you throw those darts, I'm not sure how I'll feel. But yeah, hopefully I'll settle down pretty quick and just get a couple of games under my belt and feel pretty confident.
Is the Pro Tour, does it have added incentive? Obviously, because you're the world #1 now as well. Because there'd be like a title race during the year now, which I'm really looking forward to.
But no, as long as you know you're doing all right on the 1 year automatic and the Pro Tours, the Europeans, and I think I was 1, 2, or 3 most of the year in those tournaments. So as long as you're doing well in those, and in some decent form, and then the TV events, there's a lot more added pressure. But if you're playing well on the Pro Tour Europeans, you've got the confidence going into those. So I target the Pro Tours, target the Europeans, and then push on with the confidence.
Congratulations, Gezi. Stay with us. You're up for a few more. We might have to speak to you again.
So congratulations to Gerwyn Price, PDC Pro Tour Player of the Year. Dan, look, you're there every weekend on the Pro Tour events. They're great events. They're very important events. And it's kind of the professionalism of Gezi. He just turns up. It doesn't matter what tournament. He goes full throttle.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it's very well deserved. He set his stall out very early, winning titles earlier on the year before lockdown, won that first European tour. And every time we see him, he has looked every inch one of the very, very best. And of course, now we sit in a world where Gerwyn Price is the world #1 and well deserved. This was coming. You could see it over the sort of development of 2020.
Now, the Pro Tour, there's never fans. So, Dan, you're there all the time. Give fans an insight what it's like. What are the players like? Some players like to sit on the tables and talk. What's Gezi like during a Pro Tour event?
It's difficult to gauge, really. I mean, they're all there playing all the way through the day. We're usually locked in a little room nearby commentating on it. But we do have fans on the Euro Tour, of course, which still counts as the Pro Tour. But that's your bread and butter. That's where you really earn the right to compete on the big stages. And if you can't get that right, if you can't get your Pro Tour form sorted, you're not going to get your spot at the World Match Play. You're not going to get your chance at the Grand Slam of darts. And that's, of course, where Gerwyn really broke through and won those back-to-back Grand Slam titles. It's a pathway. And look, some players never quite get it right and they never reach their potential. Gerwyn Price undoubtedly has.
And a Pro Tour weekend, it looks like the FA Cup first qualifying round. You've got the biggest list you can ever imagine. So putting it into perspective, you've got to be good, consistently good, for a full day.
They're brutal. They are absolutely brutal. And you speak to any professional nowadays and they will say it has got harder and harder and harder over the last few years, because you're going into those places in Barnsley, Wigan or Hildesheim or wherever we're playing them, and you are looking at the draw and you go, there's not an easy one. There is not an easy one. You're getting players who are unseeded, major champions who aren't even seeded for these. Gerwyn Price, who has won more titles than anybody else over the course of 2020, he has had to fight and battle for every single one of them.
Now, I don't want to be breaking any embargoes, Dan, but I've got a feeling we might be speaking to him again shortly.
Yeah, I think he's in the running for some more, yeah.
Now it's time for our Money Barn Best Newcomer in 2020, announced by Leicester City and England midfielder James Maddison.
Hi everyone, it's James Maddison of Leicester City here. Massive fan of the darts, so it was a privilege to be able to present the Money Barn Best Newcomer Award. And winner is Damon Heta. Well done, mate.
Yes, the Money Barn Best Newcomer is Damon Heta. Damon, many congratulations. How do you feel about that? You must be delighted.
Yeah, pumped. Ace was just happy to get a gig on the Gerwyn Price show.
What's it mean to you taking this massive gamble, Damon? It's a big step for you to go all the way around the other side of the world and then to get recognised so soon for your achievements.
Yeah, it obviously means a lot because I don't plan to stay here forever, and I'm just looking forward, and I believe I could have done more again, and I'm just going to do my best again.
I'm going to be extremely harsh here because you had a brilliant last few months, but how did you feel after the World Championships? Because I think it was a bit of a shock to everyone, because everyone kind of fancied you to make the last 16 quarterfinals. So what were your thoughts a few days after that?
No, it was definitely heartbreaking, that's for sure. It just felt I put so much effort and time and everything in, and I think I put a lot of expectation on myself, speaking with heaps of people, and a lot of expectation, and I think I've just really let myself down. But I think I've just got to treat it as a big learning curve and keep it going.
Well, look, that's one award under your belt, Best Newcomer, but do you think it could be the Damon Heta show when we sat here one year, hopefully with some actual fans and people in here?
Yeah, I can't see why not, mate, eh? And we'll get everyone a little Tim Tam, whoever's watching.
Congratulations, Damon Heta, Money Barn Best Newcomer 2020.
So thanks very much to Damon Heta there. Dan, I feel a bit sorry bringing up losing in the first round of the World Championships, but doesn't it show how well he's done previously to have won this award but gone out in the first round of the Worlds?
Look, forget about the World Championship. He lost a really exciting game with Danny Baggish. What more would you want from your first year in PDC darts? He's won a ranking title, did that on the Pro Tour, and he's had a big run at one of the TV majors where he was excellent at the Grand Slam, and it took something really special from James Wade to stop him. I think we haven't seen the best of Damon Heta. I think there's more to come, and that's recognised in this award. He's the best newcomer, but I think we're going to see a lot more of him over the coming years.
And changed his life. You know, he's moved from Australia to Ilkeston, you know, and his wife wasn't keen. Now she's the one pushing him on. You know, we forget sometimes, don't we? These darts players do change their lives to try and elevate themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows Ilkeston is the Perth of the East Midlands. But look, he's come over here and he has taken a gamble. And as he said in his interview there, this isn't a permanent thing. He's come here on a mission. And his mission is to prove himself as a dart player, make his money, show what his talents are and his skills are, and then go back to Australia. Now, I don't know how long we're going to get Damon Heta for, but I'm very excited to see what he does in that time.
Is he the player where a draw is made in a tournament and they say, no, not Damon Heta?
Well, it certainly were at the World Championship. I mean, he's going there as an unseeded player, but I think you'll see that he will be a seed. He's going to move his way up the rankings over the next 12 months. Let's see how far he can go. I'm not putting him in the same bracket as, say, Glenn Durrant, who we knew was a proven major title winner before he came to the PDC, but I'm certainly putting him in that bracket of players who could quite conceivably go and win a big TV title. So, look, it's exciting times for him.
Thanks, Dan. Right, now it's time for the nominations for the Televised Performance of the Year.
The nominees for the Toyo Tyres Televised Performance of the Year award are Simon Whitlock, World Grand Prix quarter-final; Michael van Gerwen, UK Open semi-final; Peter Wright, Premier League Exeter; Jose de Souza, Grand Slam final; Dave Chisnall, World Championship quarter-final.
Let's start with Simon Whitlock, who had a brilliant second half of the season.
Well, Simon Whitlock, you could have picked probably 3 games at least for him, and he had 3 big stage victories against Michael van Gerwen. I know it's the World Grand Prix that they picked, but I think that the record-breaking 180s at the Grand Slam when he beat him there, his incredible performance at the World Match Play, it's just a sign of this renaissance that the Wizard has had in his career, and it brought an end to a horrible losing streak against MVG. It really does provide some extra context to that. Absolutely fabulous to watch Simon Whitlock playing so well again. And
it doesn't feel weird that a year actually is a long time, because we both went, oh, Peter Wright, Exeter.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't quite sure which one it was at first, but Peter Wright has produced some incredible darts all the way through the year. Massive averages. In the end, it was the highest average we saw in the Premier League, but it was a Premier League where he also hit a 9-darter. There was a little spell in that Premier League where he could have had 3 9-darters in the space of about 4 nights. But Peter Wright has been right up there with one of the top performers. It's only right that he's included in that 5.
Yeah, I don't think I need to tell anybody why Dave Chisnall's on that list.
One of the most incredible Ali Pali performances we've ever seen. Not just beating Michael van Gerwen, but absolutely annihilating. Chizzy himself said it was the best individual performance he's produced in his career, and there's a lot of candidates from Dave Chisnall. So yeah, that's certainly one of the real contenders.
The year was obviously with the pandemic certainly split in half. Let's go back to the start of the year, and it's on to Michael van Gerwen again.
Well, the last TV tournament before the World Championship, that UK Open win was magnificent, and the quarter-final, semi-final and the final, he's averaged around about the 110 mark. In the end, it was his semi-final win against Darryl Gurney, which included the 9-darter that got him nominated. But that really was probably the best we saw from MVG that weekend at the UK Open in Minehead.
And last but certainly not least, this performance sort of announced him on the stage as a darting heavyweight going forward.
Absolutely. Jose de Souza, the Portuguese man of scores, 5th player from 5 different countries as well, and him winning the Grand Slam kind of changed the landscape. We knew that Jose had talent, but the ability to get over the line in a big tournament, our first ever Portuguese winner of a big TV title, very, very well deserved.
Absolutely. That's right. It's the Toyo Tyres Performance of the Year, announced by YouTuber Jack Mate.
Hello guys, I hope you're all doing fantastically well as we can in these trying times. My name's Jack Mate, I'm a YouTuber. What do you mean you never heard of me? I can't blame you. It's pathetic, really. I've been given the prestigious honour, and let me tell you, it is an honour, to present this year's winner of the Toyo Tyres Televised Performance of the Year Award. And I'm excited. I mean, there was loads of fantastic performances. What a World Championships it was, by the way. I mean, I'm absolutely gutted fans can't be there, but you guys, all of the players, all of the staff, everyone involved, absolutely smashed it. So, now, here we go. In this envelope, I can announce the winner of the Toyo Tyres Televised Performance of the Year Award. It's not in there, there's nothing in there, it's blank, I know it. And the winner is, drum roll, Dave Chisnall, Chizzy, after his 5-0 quarter-final demolition of Michael Van Gerwen in the World Championships 2020-2021. Up the Chizzy, congratulations mate, commiserations to MVG, I'm sure you'll be back bigger than ever, and a special mention to Gezi Price on winning the whole thing. But for now, this moment is yours, Chizzy.
Dan, it was so good. Can we just talk about it again? Because we were both there that night. I feel privileged to have been there that night because I say performance of the decade. I mean, than the year.
Well, look, you should feel privileged to have watched that because it was special. Let's put it in context. Michael Van Gerwen, yes, he didn't have his greatest year, but I think he'd convinced everybody with his performances at the Players' Championship finals and then leading up to that match at the World Championship that he was back. And Dave Chisnall has handed him a whitewash, the likes of which we have never seen at the World Championship for MVG since he became this all-conquering machine of a player. Dave Chisnall, quite rightly, as I said before, he rates it as his best ever individual one-off performance, and that really does deserve the award there. He's earned it.
Absolutely. Right, it's time to talk nine darters. Here's a list of players who achieved the perfect leg throughout the year. Receiving the silver pin badge for a non-televised nine darter, Andy Jenkins, Mickey Mansell, Mike van Dijvenbode, Keegan Brown, Scott Baker, Nathan Aspinall, Steve West, Mensur Suljovic, Danny Noppert, Steve Lennon, Michael Van Gerwen, Luke Woodhouse, Rob Cross, Darren Webster, Carl Wilkinson, James Wade, Devon Peterson, Marino Blum, Robbie Ellis, Daniel Larson, Andy Hamilton, Ralby John Rodriguez and Nick Kenny. And here's the Gold Pin Awards for the televised 9 dart finishes. Michael Smith in the Unibet Premier League, Johnny Clayton in the Ladbrokes UK Open, Michael Van Gerwen in the Ladbrokes UK Open, Peter Wright in the Unibet Premier League, Jose de Souza in the Unibet European Championship, and James Wade in the William Hill World Championship. Now time to talk about the Just Eat Fans Player of the Year. Dan, talk us more about this award.
Okay, different from the other awards in that this one is voted for, as you'd imagine, by the fans. Almost 10,000 of them took part. The nominees, they're all guys who'd made televised finals over the course of 2020. So some big names in there, obviously, but also some guys like, say, Dirk van Dijvenbode, who made the final of the World Grand Prix in there.
And to announce the award, it's Matt Bushby, the UK Director of Just Eat.
Hello, I'm Matt Bushby, Marketing Director at Just Eat. Just Eat, a proud sponsor of the PDC, and I'd like to congratulate everybody who's put on this amazing virtual event. Hopefully next year we'll be in the same room celebrating together. Anyway, without further ado, I'd like to name the Just Eat Fans Player of the Year, and the winner is Go Win Price. Congratulations.
So congratulations to Get a Win Price, the Just Eat Fans Player of the Year. Now, yeah, the fans. What a year you've had. The fans. They love
This
you
is the
now.
most important one.
I mean, honestly, think about it. You haven't had a relationship up and down with the fans, but hey, it's turned. They love you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they probably gone with the right thing, even though they probably didn't want to do it. But I don't know. I've played pretty well this year. Maybe deserve it or not, but yeah, something I didn't think that I would win. Not in a million years, but not the way things are going over the last 2 years. But yeah, thanks for everyone who voted for me. I appreciate it. But yeah, I didn't expect that one.
Gezi, you're now Mr. Popular in darts. What's it going to be like when the fans are allowed back in and you get to play in front of them again?
Sure, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward for the Premier League getting back underway and, walking out into Cardiff. And I'm sure I'll have a real good reception there, but not just there, but everywhere else. And I'm a little bit anxious. I'm not sure what to expect with the crowd, but I don't think they'll be as bad as what they have in the past,
I agree with you, Casey. I know your wife's more social media savvy than yourself, but picking up on a lot of social media, people have changed. They are starting to love you. And do you feel that more as well? I mean, did you have a little look at it sometimes and go, oh, that's nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I used to have a lot of negative messages, and don't get me wrong, I've blocked most of those anyway, but the messages I get now are 99% positive, which is good. And, my Instagram's gone crazy since I won the Worlds, and it's all positive. Like my wife runs a Twitter, she shows me most of the positive stuff on it. Probably hides all the negative stuff, but I don't think it's much of it now anyway. But it's definitely going in the right direction, and I'm getting a lot more support than what I have over the last couple of years.
Congratulations, Gezi. Big one for you, that. The Fans Player of the Year. Well done.
So Goodwin Price, the Fans Player of the Year. Dan, look, we've spoken to Goodwin about this, but look, we've been at darts events for years, and the fans used to be booing him and booing him and booing him. This is a turnaround.
Well, I think so. I mean, he seemed more surprised than anybody about it, to be honest. I know that we haven't had a great deal of action with fans in over recent months, where Gowan has become the world #1 and world champion. But I'm really, really interested to see what it's going to be like when he gets back. Now, he took pretty much 30% of the vote, around a third of the vote anyway. Dirk van Dijvenbode wasn't that far behind him. That's a big one. And third place was actually Dimitri van den Berg. So you establish names, that people like Gary Anderson and Michael van Gerwen who've run away with it in the past. Peter Wright, of course. They're not even making podium places this year. So, look, interesting times when the fans are allowed back. We'll see what reception they get.
In Goodwin's first few years, we noticed the relationship with the fans wasn't good, and we know if you react, the fans will react back. When the fans return, how do you see Goodwin reacting with them? Because I feel Goodwin's changed a little bit.
I think maybe he's changed. I think his relationship to the sport and the fans has changed. He is the world #1. He's the world champion now. He is, by rights, he can claim, the best player on the planet. And I've always maintained this. Fans will turn on players every now and again. We've seen it with Phil Taylor. We've seen it with Michael van Gerwen himself. They'll cheer 1 minute, they'll boo the next. Darts fans are fickle people. But what they will do, they will respond if you throw world-class darts. If you hit 180s and ton-plus averages and massive finishes, and that is something Gowan Price has been doing regularly for the last 2 or 3 years, then they will love you. He has basically forced their hand. He has shown them that he really is a player to be respected, and I think he's got their respect.
And as this is a fans award, when fans look to book tickets on the PDC website, they're talking in their WhatsApp groups, they say, I want to see Gowan Price.
Yeah, he's box office. He has been box office for a long while, and now he's not just box office, he is the poster boy for this sport. World #1, world champion. People want to see him. Some people will still want to see him lose, but I think those numbers are dwindling.
So that's the fans player. But what about the PDPA players player? That's announced by Twitch streamer Jack McDermott.
Hello everyone, my name is Jack, aka Pipeface23, and I am a Twitch streamer and YouTuber, and also a massive darts fan. I have actually got my board set up downstairs on my gorilla stand in the kitchen slash sort of front room area. I literally can't go down and make a cup of tea without having a few arrows. Getting there slowly but surely. And it's honestly a massive honour for me to be able to announce the winner of this award, which is the PDPA Players Player of the Year. And it's funny actually because the winner of this award is also my favourite darts player. So I can announce the winner is, I've got a virtual drum roll please, Mr. Gowan Price. Congratulations, Gowan.
Congratulations, Gezi. The fans love you. You're the Pro Tour Player of the Year, and now you're the Players' Player of the Year as well. What does that mean, respect from your peers?
Yeah, obviously, that's an important one to win. I think the top pros all voting for you, so they obviously showing the respect that I might deserve or probably deserve for the way I've played over the last 12 months. But yeah, thanks for all those players who voted for me as well, but I appreciate it.
Listen to Gary Anderson. I had to speak to him as a runner-up in the World Championship finals. He was full of admiration for you, which is a bit of a change because obviously you two have had your needles in the past, but there's a change, isn't there? I heard Phil Taylor say, you're brilliant for darts, well-deserved, everything you've done this year. It must mean a lot coming from people like them.
Yeah, I get on really well with Phil, and he sent me loads of messages, obviously leading up to the Worlds, during the Worlds, and still after, and I get on really well with him, and I've had some good advice, obviously leading up and during the Worlds as well, and it's been great. And as far as the Gary thing, I've never really had a problem with Gary off the hockey. We've just had a few disagreements on the board, but on the board he should stay, and we're all up there to do a job and to win, and we all have our own opinions on certain players, but yeah, I don't dislike Gary, and I think it's the other way, same way from him as well. But let's just move on and just have some good tussles on the board, I think.
3 awards already tonight, Gezi. You're still up for another one as well. I mean, it could be a clean sweep for you.
Yes, come on.
So he's got the respect from the fans, and he's clearly got the respect of the players, Dan.
Yeah, quite rightly. They've played him over the course of the last 12 months, and they've been regularly beaten by him. You cannot not respect what this man has been doing on a dartboard. And look, maybe over the course of 2020, opinions have changed amongst a lot of people, fans and players included. But he deserves everything he's getting at the minute, Gary Price, and he's running away with it tonight.
I want to pick one moment for me in terms of Gezi was at the World Cup when I was in Austria, and him sort of helping Johnny Clayton. I'm sure Johnny probably voted for him as well, but I mean, that kind of team ethic as well he's got by winning the World Cup for Wales.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's obviously very, very popular amongst the Welsh fans and the Welsh players. Johnny Clayton, back before the World Cup even started, was saying this man's probably the best player in the world right now. And everybody, or a significant number of players, have now come around to that way of thinking because he's not given them any other option. He's just been consistently excellent.
And what will the likes of Peter and Michael Van Gogh be thinking, seeing Gezi picking up all these awards?
Well, I'm certainly looking for a reaction. That's what I want. We've had this three-way battle for the #1 spot over the course of the last year between Wright, Van Gerwen and Price. Price has won it for now, but it's only the battle. The war still continues, and I'm fully expecting Michael Van Gerwen to come out all guns blazing and try and get that #1 spot back. He says it's no doubt that he's going to get it back. We'll see. It's quite a bit of ground he's got to make up.
OK, thanks, Dan. Now it's time for an award that Gerwen cannot win. How? Why, you ask? Well, it's the Unicorn Young Player of the Year nominations.
Here are the nominees for the Unicorn Young Player of the Year award. Ryan Meikle, Keane Barry, Bradley Brooks, Callan Ridds.
Now to announce the winner is Unicorn Managing Director Edward Lowy.
Hi folks, I'm Edward Lowy, Managing Director of Unicorn Products, and it's my pleasure to announce the winner of the PDC Unicorn Young Player of the Year Award for 2020. So many great performances, so good to see so much young talent coming into the game, taking on the old guard and really showing us a glimpse into the future of darts. Some special mentions must go out to Ryan Meikle, to Bradley Brooks and to Keane Barry. But this year's winner goes to Callan Ridds. Many congratulations, Callan. Quite superb performances throughout the year. And we all say a very big well done. At the same time, huge thanks to the PDC, everybody at the PDC, for putting on so many great darts tournaments in such difficult circumstances and giving all these players the opportunity to ply their trade and to thrill us with their skill on the hockey. Well done, guys.
Congratulations, Unicorn Young Player of the Year, Callan Ridds. How does that feel, Callan? Esteemed company, some world champions in there, MVG, AD Lewis.
Yeah, I was looking through the names and it was surreal just to be nominated, never mind to win the award. It gives us a bit more confidence going into the end. That's a really happy thing for me.
You targeting Chris Dobie now to be Newcastle's #1 potentially?
#1, he lives on the same street, man. I can see his house from out my window.
What does it mean to you to go and win this award? Because I know this is just a first step. It took you quite a while just to get on the tour, but the fact that you're here now and making big strides, this has been a long time coming for you.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about the Q school, but, you know, I think them setbacks, though, they've helped us in the long run. Got on the tour this year, and I didn't have a good start to the year. Obviously, bad news came, and obviously the COVID came, but no, towards the end of the year, I really did play some good stuff.
You say it's not been the best of years, but does this give you impetus going into 21 to win an award when there's so much talent, like Dan says, around the world at the moment?
Yeah, 100%. Everyone that's on like the Pro Tour, all the young players, you've got Bradley Brooks, Televised, Max Hopp, you've got all them, and they're all great players. For me to win this, it's unbelievable.
Well, look, congratulations, Callan Ridds, Unicorn Young Player of the Year. Well deserved as well. Good stuff, Callan.
Thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
Worthy winner for the Unicorn Young Player of the Year?
Absolutely. Callan Ridds has been a fantastic addition to the PDC Tour. As he alluded to there, it's taken him a little while to get on the tour. He came very, very close to Q School a couple of times, but now he's here, he's showing what he can do. I also think that the other nominees we had there, Ryan Meikle, who's been really, really good and perhaps overlooked by a few people this year, Keane Barry, who looks like an absolute superstar in the making, and our World Youth Champion, Bradley Brooks as well. Superb that they were nominated, but I think Callan Ridds a very worthy winner.
Right, before we announce the PDC 2020 Player of the Year, we have a very, very special award to show you. Have a look at this.
The famous line with Dick Alex and Tommy Cox when they took me to the Circus Tavern for the first time and I turned around and said, I can smell the money. We've made amazing progress, but we're, as I say, keep saying, no complacency, we're only on the way.
You can't fault him, but whatever he does, he seems to do it properly.
And what he wanted was to make dart players millionaires. And he's done that.
This was a sport that was always waiting to happen, but no one had actually dragged it into the real world of sport today.
What he brought to the sport and what the sport brought to him, phenomenal.
It's just his work ethic. It's absolutely amazing. I don't think, you wouldn't see that on most people on the planet.
I wouldn't have the life that I've got now without Barry. I think anyone in darts owes that man everything.
Everybody at the PDC is only limited by their own imagination. And at the moment, my imagination is running wild.
I'd been backstage with Barry at some of the bigger arenas like Liverpool, and you just sort of had to scratch yourself that the darts have become this big.
Where we've come from as individuals and as a sport is a testament on what hard work and discipline and sacrifice can do.
If he shakes your hand on a deal, it's a deal. Yes, it gets written down, but you know he sticks to it, and he's very loyal like that.
Well, what a ride it's been. Fantastic.
You know, this is not a job, this is a way of life.
Many, many congratulations to Barry Hearn, OBE. Look, Dan, when the PDC was formed, I think, Dick Alex and Barry, they promised to give the dart players what they wanted back, but they delivered a whole lot more.
Well, first things first, I mean, it's nice to see Barry waving around a few glasses of champagne there, wasn't it? This is the driest awards do I've ever been to.
That's very true.
But you only have to hear him talk. The enthusiasm, despite his advancing years, has never dulled at all, and he's been one of the driving forces behind the sport and the growth of the sport. The amount of young talent that's coming through, the growth of it in places like Germany, the World Series expanding to different territories. This is all down to Barry Hearn's vision and his enthusiasm and his drive and his ability as a businessman. And look, it's benefited everybody involved in the game, not least the players, but even clowns like you and I.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, absolutely. But look, let's talk about the darts in general. We know how much he's done for boxing. We know how much he's done for snooker. I mean, it's just phenomenal. But talking about darts, You know, there are times when you look back at Premier League events, you look around, 12,000, 13,000, looking at a little dartboard. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, certainly. And that's not just, 10,000 people at the O2 or whatever. They've replicated that at the Ahoy in Rotterdam. They've got thousands in Berlin, in Germany. It is growing, and it's growing because, not just because of Barry as well, the support team that he's got, the expertise that he's got, and the vision that they've got to make this a genuinely global game. That is what is driving the growth of darts. And long may it continue, because we've got a guy who's world champion and world #1 and has won millions of pounds from this sport, whereas 7 years ago he wasn't even a professional. It's the dream factory. That's what he's created.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Well, Barry, from everyone here at the PDC and the Dart Show, many, many congratulations and thank you. Right, now it's time for the PDC Player of the Year.
Here are the nominees for the Selco Player of the Year award. Gerwyn Price, Michael van Gerwen, Peter Wright, Jose de Souza.
Dan, let's start with Jose de Souza, Grand Slam champion, a well-deserved Grand Slam champion. Phenomenal year he's had.
Yeah, and look at the company he's in. We've got the top 3 in the world, all world champions, and the Portuguese #1. This man has forced himself into the reckoning for a very, very prestigious title. The Grand Slam victory, the icing on the cake, but we'd already seen in his very brief time in the PDC that he really is one to watch. He's entertaining. He's at a TV9 Data this year, got himself a little badge for it, maybe. He picks up this. But
now, this is with the greatest of respect to Michael van Gerwen, but it's not really been his year what he would have expected, would it really?
No, absolutely not. It's a mark of respect for Michael van Gerwen to say that a year where he's won things like the UK Open and a number of other titles, that this has been a very, very poor year for him. But the fact that he is still in with a chance of winning Player of the Year just goes to show you what kind of levels he's produced over the last 8 years or so. He is an absolute winning machine, a darting icon. And look, it's a very tough one to win this year, but Michael van Gerwen, you have to be in the discussion for pretty much everything. He's that good.
Now, Peter Wright started 2020 as world champion. A few weeks later, he followed it up as a World Masters winner. Kind of trailed off a little bit as the year went on, would you say? I mean, how would you assess his year?
I think that had he gone and defended that World Championship, people would immediately be talking about Peter Wright as one of the greats of the game that we've ever seen. I still believe that you have to have him in that discussion. It was a disappointment for him, but look, Peter Wright has played some world-class stuff and won a number of titles. He's right up there with Price and MVG for a number of titles won this year.
Last but certainly not least, Grand Prix winner, World Cup winner, world champion, world #1.
Yeah, and the winner of 3 titles or awards already tonight. Gerwyn Price, very much the man of the moment. It would not surprise me if in a few seconds' time it's another one for the Welshman.
And to announce the Selco Player of the Year is Selco Marketing Director Karine Jessamine.
Hello everyone, I'm Karine Jessamine, the Marketing Director at Selco Builders Warehouse, one of the UK's largest builders merchants. Here at Selco, we're proud to be official partners of the PDC and have been since 2019. 2020 has been a tough year for everyone, but there's been some great darting action. As always, there's been some fantastic competition for the prestigious Player of the Year, and I'm here to announce the winner. There's only really one winner this year. He's become the new world champion, the world #1 for the first time, and is now the Selco Builders Warehouse PDC Player of the Year. Congratulations to Gerwyn Price.
Yes, it's the big one. The Selco Player of the Year. Many congratulations, Gerwyn. It's nearly a clean sweep. I mean, it just sums up a phenomenal year you've had.
Yeah, I've been playing pretty consistent this year. I sort of tapered off, I think. You know, in the Grand Slam and the Players' Championship finals, I wasn't 100%, but I still got to the latter stages and was still playing half decent. But overall, over the 12 months, yeah, I've played pretty decent and got, you know, I think I've won the most tournaments this year, which you told me that 7 years ago, I'd be doing that and getting to world number one and winning the World Championship. Yeah, dreams come true, but something I never even thought of, let alone dreamt about.
This is an incredible night for you, Gary, and it caps an incredible year. But I know the titles and the money and everything else is one thing, but to get this respect from the PDC itself, the fans, your fellow players, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, obviously it means the world to have a clean sweep and to know that I have played well over the last 12 months and that I need to try and back this up as well. You know, I'm not resting now that I've won the Worlds. You know, the day after, I just felt like that was it. I didn't care anymore, but you know, I've reflected and looked back, and you know, it's just made me a bit hungrier to chase Michael down. You know, he's 1-3. To chase Barney down was 1-5. Like I said, I'll never reach Phil Taylor, but I'm chasing those boys on the to get the Worlds another few times. But yeah, the fans one means more to me than anything, I think, and I have had them on my back for the last 2.5 years. But yeah, that means everything.
It's quite a story going. I mean, you know, you were a rugby player. And now we know you're a pretty good footballer as well, watching Soccer AM the other week. But in all seriousness, when there's people who aren't sure about going to Q school or just thinking, I'm going to go to Q school, I won't get too down. You're a perfect example. You're a great story about anyone can do this if they put their mind to it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I wish I just listened to Barry Bates, you know, 2 or 3 years earlier, and you know, I could have won this championship a couple of years earlier as well, I think. But no, I mean, anyone who's ever doubting themselves or saying, you know, they debate in anything, just give it a crack. You never know. I put it off for 2 or 3 years, and I was always playing rugby. But yeah, I'm thankful and glad that I did it. And you know, if you're good enough, you can make it. Just give it 100%. Get in there, have a crack, and you know, just don't have any doubts. Give it a good go.
Finally, Gazzy, look, how many awards like this did you win as a rugby player?
Not many. I won a few leagues and a few cups with Neath and Cross Keys, but yeah, I don't think we won 4 in the year. Well, plus all the tournaments I won as well. So yeah, it's been a decent year.
Going, you are the Selco Player of the Year. A phenomenal year, fully deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Dan, in fairness, you didn't really give it away because there couldn't have been anyone else than Gerwyn Price.
Look, the fans, the players, everybody, he is the Player of the Year. It has been Gerwyn Price's 2020, capped off with that World Championship and taking the world #1 spot. Thoroughly deserved. He doesn't like it when I say it, but he was a decent rugby player. He's a far better dart player, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do over the coming years, because it's not taken that long for him to come from complete obscurity and reach the very top of the game.
He's so good for darts, though, isn't he?
Well, I mean, a lot of people would disagree with you there, certainly over the last couple of years. I, however, have been steadfast in my appreciation for Gerwyn Price. Look, I saw him come through Q School and get himself on the tour. When we saw him playing on the Euro Tour and playing on the Pro Tour, you could see that he was exciting. He was interesting. I had no idea that he could go and do this. I don't think anybody really did. But he has got better and better and better. And some of the performances, some of the title wins that he's produced suggest that this is not a flash in the pan. This is here to stay. Gerwyn Price, the Iceman, is the world #1 and could be for some time. I don't know, but I certainly think we're going to see some incredible battles between him, Van Gerwen, Wright, and all these other stars that are hot on their heels.
Yeah, the world #1 is really going to hot up. It's going to be so exciting, which could make all tournaments even more intense.
Well, I think so. Look, intense is something that you always get with Gerwyn Price. Yeah. He is watchable. Some people will watch him because they want to see him lose. I think those numbers are not as many as they used to be. People are respecting the fact that this man can throw world-class darts and throw it on a consistent basis. His World Championship campaign, it was... I don't even think he played his best.
I was just about to say that. That was my next question. I don't even think he was at his best.
No, I think we've seen better, and I think we will see better from him. It's just a very, very exciting time to be around darts and to see that man as the figurehead for the game.
Need to speak about Peter Wright and Michael Van Gerwen, because obviously they won't be world #1. Michael certainly won't be the world #1. How does he get back?
He gets back by doing what he's done for most of the last 8 years, and that's being the best player on the planet. But we saw it with Phil Taylor. People would step up and challenge Phil. Sometimes they knocked him off that #1 spot, but he came back and in fact raised his game. He raised the levels that you needed to be a world champion or world #1. I'm not even sure how much further they can go, how high it can get, how brilliant these guys can be. But if anybody on the planet can really go away, work on their game and come back and be a dominant force once again, it surely has to be a 3-time world champion in Michael van Gerwen. He's one of the greatest we've ever seen. He's got the bit between his teeth now. He's been knocked off his perch. It's how he responds to it that's going to be fascinating.
Do you see those three as the top three to beat during the year, or do you think it could be quite open? We've seen Jose, we've seen Gary Anderson get to the World Championship final, we saw James Wade get to the Grand Slam final. I mean, it's very open because the quality is so good, but essentially, do you think those three will be the ones picking up most majors?
I certainly think that Michael van Gerwen is going to be the one to really challenge Gerwyn Price over the course of the year. Of course, you cannot write off Peter Wright. I just don't know. I think that the ones that we want to see, the ones I want to see really step up, are some of the guys who've been on the fringes. I want to see if Nathan Aspinall can really challenge to break in. At the start of last year, he really was. I thought he was in the top 4 in the world in terms of players at that moment. I would like to see Michael Smith fulfil his destiny. There is so much talent around, though. And don't forget some of the guys who've been around for a number of years. You know, James Wade has played some excellent stuff. He could really start making some moves. I just think that the standard, the strength in depth is so good in darts right now that, yes, we do have a dominant force in Gerwyn Price right now. He is being really challenged by MVG and Peter Wright, but that following pack, that chasing pack, can really have designs on breaking into that sort of triopoly, if you like, and forcing themselves into the reckoning for all the major titles. Jose de Sousa picked one up over the last 12 months. Why can't other players pick up their first?
Finally, I mean, you mentioned just how much talent we have in the PDC ranks. So it's quite incredible that we spoke to Gerwyn just so many times. He's picked up so many awards. Incredible stuff from him.
Yeah, it's his year. It is his year. I think that the World Championship sealed that, and this is a reflection of his 12 months. It has been coming. He has worked his way up from 0 7 years ago. He wasn't even a darts player when he walked through the doors at Q School at the Robin Park Tennis Centre in Wigan. But he has been given the opportunities. He has worked and worked and worked, and he has turned himself into the best player on planet Earth right now, and he deserves all those awards he's got.
Dan, thank you very much. Well, that ends the PDC 2020 Darts Awards. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations to all the winners, and we will see you very soon. Yes, we're back. It's a new season. We cannot wait. The opening week of the Premier League.
From Newcastle to Cardiff, Liverpool to Aberdeen. 4 months of spectacular darts. Welcome to the Premier League. Here we go, the 16th year. Bonnie Boy hits a lot. Boom! Wins the UK Open for a 3rd time.
We are still at home, of course. My question to Dan, after 2 weeks, has he had a shower?
It's incredible, really, isn't it, when you look at the media attention as well, because it is really the only sport that's going ahead. But I think it's gone really well, apart from Dan's hair. But
same as yours, man.
We're absolutely delighted to be back.
Behind closed doors, but the dart's just as good, if not better. Dimitri has done it.
Glenn Durrant, the Premier League champion. He is the special one, and he's won a special one.
A 6 Players' Championship. 2 of the giants of the sport to battle it out for the biggest prize.
Gerwyn Price is the champion